Toddler approved.
This video is all about your favorites. We wanted to start off the year by summing up your top 10 tasty, thrifty, timely recipes. So if you're new here, this is a great place to start. If you're one of our loyal viewers, then A, you might see one of your own reviews or comments or photos. B, you might be inspired to try something of ours that you haven't tried yet. Or C, you might get really hungry for something you already know that you love. If you don't know us, I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Bryan.
And let's get to it. Oh, nice. That was a good way to button it. Just take a little sip.
A big sip.
And on the topic of brightly colored smoothies, our mouths might be pink by the end of this. The award for cutest submission has to go to this little one and Mum Ashley, who sent us a review and commented on the blog saying that we love the cinnamon spice apple beet smoothie bowl. The flavor is so good and I love the bright color. Our toddler loves it too, which feels like such a win. As my husband says, it is unbeatable.
What a dad joke.
And then she says, I'm so sorry. And Ashley also mentions that our tip in this beet smoothie bowl recipe about roasting beets in a batch and then keeping them in your fridge to draw from throughout the week has made their meal planning and prep so much easier. So if you're not putting beets in your smoothies, what are you waiting for? There's banana, there's apple, there's cinnamon. It sort of tastes like cinnamon heart candies, but less intense. You gotta try it. Now we will count down,
From 10.
We'll count down from 10.
10?
No. Yes, we're counting down from 10. Did we all get that?
I think that's a clear concept.
Okay, so in the number 10 spot, lentil shepherd's pie. Some of your reviews were, I am not vegan, but I made this and went back for more.
Sweet.
Yeah. Totally scrumptious and easy to make. My 7-year-old picky eater ate all of his and my husband had a third helping. It was fantastic. Even my toddler enjoyed it and he's hard to please. Going to make this frequently. And finally, the flour to hold it all together, genius.
Wow.
Why, thank you, Tim.
Wow.
And I really wanted this lentil shepherd's pie. I really wanted you to be able to scoop a nice piece of it and make it easy to share with a crowd. So mashing the lentils a bit and adding that almond flour really helps to bind the base together, give you a solid base. You've got the lentils, the mushrooms, the fluffy mash, and you top it with some miso gravy. That's a good choice.
As Tim would say, genius.
Mm-hmm. Number 9. Lobster rolls.
Oh.
I'm really glad that this one made the list.
It's an unsung hero.
Well, clearly not though, it's number 9.
Yeah, true.
So, actually your mom just made this for us. We had a New Year's Eve party with lobster rolls and veggie sushi and edamame. It was great. So this one's fresh in our minds. And you have said this mayo recipe has changed my life.
Life-changing.
If you make my oil-free mayo to make this lobster roll, that is the star of the show because it's mind-blowing. All it is silken tofu blended up with some seasonings, and in 5 minutes you have a mayonnaise replacement that's like thick and delicious. And the lobster is replaced by hearts of palm in this recipe, celery salt, or Old Bay seasoning. That's the other one you can use, but I actually prefer celery salt. It gives like the salty flavor, it's buttery, you toast up the buns.
Maybe we should do a video for the oil-free mayo. Do you want to see a video for the oil-free mayo on its own? Is it like a hero?
It's life-changing.
I gotta ask though.
Oh!
These natas that you have just sitting here in the frame.
Yes.
What's the story here?
Oh, what's the story? These are veganized Portuguese natas, the custard tarts. These ones, I was playing with them today, so they're not my best batch, but they're still pretty good. But I have a great recipe for you. When did we do that other nata video?
A while ago.
Was that last?
I'll cut to a clip of it.
No, it was like 2 years ago. And I said, I don't have a nata video yet because I haven't perfected the recipe. And I perfected the recipe.
Oh my God.
And it's coming out soon. I tried to stretch the recipe and make more, so they're a little too squat. That's a word I use in that.
I'll cut to that clip.
Yeah, and you were like, that's not a word. And I was like, yes, it is. Definitely more squat, if you can see the difference.
What?
Squat. With
that a thing?
gases. Squat. Yeah, tiny. Like, squat.
Oh yeah. Number 8, red lentil curry. Or unless you want to intro it.
No, you can intro it.
Just did.
Okay, number 8 is the red lentil curry, and lentils and chickpeas feature heavily on this list, and this dish has both of them. And you have said, perfect meal, so easy to make, so delicious, and so fulfilling, and my kids love it too. I've made this recipe a few times now, and it's delicious. The whole family loves it, and it's so easy to make. That's a great trend that's been happening so far. Family approved meals.
Yeah.
I added 1 large sweet potato as I had no rice at home. So I also love that this is a recipe that has been easily adaptable for you. You've told me about your swaps and you've been able to substitute based on what you have on hand. Again here, didn't have garbanzos or chickpeas, so added sweet potato instead. I will have to try that. I added bok choy instead of spinach. You've also loved making the turmeric rice.
Any others?
Yes, I like this review. It was so easy and so delicious, and yeah, we have leftovers. A definite do-over dish. Definitely a keeper. We'll certainly make it often. Number 7, here are some more chickpeas. It's the chickpea cookie dough bar.
Oh, yeah.
No baking required. My kind of recipe. It's a layer of chickpeas that are mashed into a cookie dough texture with peanut butter on top and then a drizzle of chocolate for some fun. And we actually keep them in our freezer and have them as like a cold post-workout little protein reward. And Marie agrees, frozen is best. It's like eating fudge. These are the bombs, so quick and easy. Not to make, just so quick and easy, but that's implied.
Period.
Seriously incredible. I literally have a delicious protein bar for 2 weeks. Made these with sunflower butter and left out the chocolate, and they turned out so good. A rich, salty, and sweet combination that I will definitely be making again.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's chickpeas in cookie dough form. And I love the idea of using sunflower butter, actually, because you could make them school-friendly for kids, and I would probably... I'm trying to think, if I was making them for kids, I'd probably actually make our tahini chickpea protein balls or the chickpea peanut butter protein balls, but with sunflower butter or wow butter or something like that, because those would be really easy to toss into a lunch bag.
We haven't had them in a little while.
I know. I did make little like cake balls today out of the muffins, no cupcakes that I'm testing. We've had way too many cupcakes.
You didn't tell me you made these.
I know. I was going to surprise you. I'll put it in your lunch for tomorrow. He gets a lot of tests. Okay, number 6.
All right.
You haven't seen this yet. This is one of your favorite recipes. Can you guess? We have it every Christmas.
Oh. Wellington?
Oh, we do have that too, but like Christmas morning.
Oh, carrot locks.
So number 6 is the carrot lox. And this is kind of another 2-for-1 recipe, like the lobster rolls, because there's the thinly sliced, smoky, marinated carrots that are the smoked salmon substitute. And then I also make a super easy 5-minute tofu cream cheese to go underneath. And you can have them as an open-faced sandwich, as like a closed sandwich, more like lunchy, as appetizers that are super easy to prepare in advance. And Alexis says exactly that. So easy to prepare in advance of a party, and they were a huge hit. Had the leftovers on bagels the next day. Delicious. Amazing. My friend couldn't tell they were eating tofu. The seaweed was a super nice touch. So seaweed snack sheets are also crumbled into the carrots to give more of that fishy flavor. It's a good one. I like making it for people who aren't vegan or plant-based.
I think my mom just recently made them on the blog. We have them as on Christini's.
Yeah, that's what the appetizer comment is.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
You're just zoned out. This is typical. I'm talking here. You can just prep it in advance, put some hummus or the tofu cream cheese on crostini with some smaller pieces of the carrots, and then people are like, what is this? This is carrots? This is amazing. It is a conversation starter. I'm not just tapping myself on the back. Lots of other people have made carrot lox, but mine's particularly good, as the reviews say. Okay, number 5, we're getting into the heavy hitters. Red lentil ragu. This is another one that we make all the time, probably at least once a month.
It's a good when we don't know what to eat meal.
It's a great like, ooh, it's 5:30 and I haven't started dinner, what can I make? Throw some pasta, some lentils, some toasted walnuts, tomato sauce, bang, delicious. Angela says, I am not vegan and don't even like lentils, but the photo of this recipe was just too appealing not to try. I warned my husband, a meat-loving southern man, that he probably wouldn't like that dinner that night, but guess what? He had 3 helpings. If I didn't make this and only tasted it, I would definitely think it was a meat sauce. Can't wait for leftovers. Yay, for wanting leftovers.
Meat-loving southern man approved.
I made it for my parents who definitely like meat sauce on their spaghetti, and they loved it too. This is made on repeat in our house. That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice hearing from you and knowing that you like the recipes. And I think I need to make something like a lasagna this year, and meatballs. I don't even have those yet. There are so many recipes I could make.
I think in that video, in the red lentil ragu video.
Oh, I forgot to mention, there happens to be a video for, you can continue in just a second. All of the recipes that we mentioned are linked below for you, and they all coincidentally also have a video right here on YouTube, so you can watch all of those next. Continue.
Okay, what I was gonna say was in that video, I'm like, the red lentil ragu would make for a good sloppy joe. I think we should get a sloppy joe up on the blog.
My reference for Sloppy Joe, an Olsen Twins movie that I watched on repeat as a kid called It Takes Two. Number 4, seed crackers. You have loved these, and why wouldn't you? All it is a bunch of seeds and water, and you bake it. And they're protein-packed, thin, crispy crackers. Some of your comments have been my daily snack. Healthy and delicious, loved it. Amazing, loved it. Super thin and crisp, stored perfectly in a Ziploc bag. I was concerned they wouldn't have any flavor, but not so. I will add this recipe to my box of keepers. Been purchasing crackers similar to these. The cost is well over $10 per bag, and now I can make my own. I forget what the cost is on these, but it's like $3 or something.
I'll pop it up on screen. The cost is this.
Number 3, top 3.
Good thing, because I'm almost out of smoothie.
Number 3 is watermelon poke. This is another beauty of a fish substitute recipe, and it definitely gets the award for most photographed, because who would not want to photograph such colorful and delicious creations?
It's another conversation starter.
Yeah, and it gets this like fishy texture, and you can sort of like, I think in the video, I kind of like wag it around, maybe. It's pretty mind-blowing. So this comment I love because they say, made this the other night after seeing several recipes online. This recipe totally nails it, including cooking before marinating. Wouldn't change a thing. A new favorite weeknight meal. Yeah, you wouldn't think that this is something you can make on a weeknight, but this is...
Sorry. My lip was just thinking of the watermelon and how tasty it is.
Okay, so you wouldn't think that you can make this on a weeknight, but it's a great one to prepare in advance because you basically bake the watermelon for a bit to draw all of the juices and sugars out of it, and then it gets that weird fish-like texture. And then you throw it in a quick marinade with some salty, tangy flavors, and you can just leave it in that for a few days because the flavor gets better and better the longer it sits. And then when you're ready to make one of these beautiful bowls or whatever you want to do with it, you just grill it up quickly. Get a nice char on it, serve it over sushi rice or noodles, and it's a showstopper.
Yeah, it is.
It mimics, I should probably say what it mimics. It mimics like tuna sashimi, raw tuna that you would have on sushi. This is one that we definitely make at like summer barbecues for people who aren't plant-based, and they think it's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
And keep taking photos of it because your photos look great.
Yeah, that's the best. When people send stuff in, you're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
People made your recipe and they served it to somebody.
And they ate it themselves.
They trusted that at a party.
Yeah, this is why I get stressed. And I test things a lot. And Bryan eats the same thing for multiple days on end. Speaking of testing a recipe so many times, what do you think number 2 is?
I am gonna say carrot cake.
Yes.
I read ahead though.
Oh, you did.
Sorry.
They're kind of no-brainers, these top 2. They are well-loved recipes. Listen to these reviews. They make me so happy. Outrageously delicious. Best cake I have ever made and might be the best carrot cake I have ever tasted. Best carrot cake without eggs I have ever made. My vegan baking skills are lacking, to put it nicely. This recipe makes me feel like a pro. Best carrot cake ever. It was the bomb. Best carrot cake I've ever tasted. Just started baking and this was super easy to follow and worked really well. Absolutely delicious.
Wow.
I know, because like that review, I would say that my baking skills, it often ends in tears. I get very frustrated baking because I'm trying to bake with as healthy ingredients as I possibly can. So when you take out butter and you take out eggs and take out white flour and take out oil, it becomes very difficult.
I think it's because you care so much, you know?
I do. I want it to taste good and try to be as healthy as possible and be as accessible as possible. So thank you to all of our friends and family who ate numerous carrot cake tests.
When we shot the video for the carrot cake, we wrapped and it was like 11 o'clock at night and we had eaten so many tests of it, and then you did the photos. We just drove around at like midnight delivering slices of cake to people. We were like little cake angels.
We were.
A friend of ours, I called her and she was already in bed, and she was just like, a man is calling me at midnight offering to bring me cake? She was just like,
Am
what
I
is this?
dreaming? And thank you for trying this cake and letting me know that it worked well for you and that you love it, and that if you also don't count yourself as a great baker, then you can make this cake and you can feel great about yourself.
I'm going to piggyback on this one though too. The Black Forest cake that you've made is also amazing and also has some pretty nice reviews. People
It does.
are
Yeah, it didn't make the list because it's a little
newer-ish.
bit newer, so comment more on that one if you've made it.
But if you want to see a third cake made by Kathryn, what kind of cake would you want to see?
So much work. But I'll do it. It'll just be like one cake a year. I think it's like all I can get out.
But it'll be a great cake.
And now the coveted #1 spot.
Actually, before we get to #1,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite
I
recipe?
see what you're doing. You're making it more like suspenseful for them.
Real talk.
Real talk, real talk. I'm going to say the fettuccine alfredo. It's a tofu cream sauce. That's just tofu. Yeah, I think I'm going to say that one because I loved creamy pastas and soups, and it was one of the things that I thought I wouldn't have again going plant-based.
You just made your
Like-
boots with it. Just like,
That just like cheese and cream and that really indulgent feeling wouldn't be achievable, but
you achieved it.
I achieved it. It's just made with tofu.
It's pretty crazy that it's just tofu.
And it's so creamy and like rich tasting and satisfying, and it's salty like Alfredo, and it's so easy to make. You literally just blend silken tofu with some lemon juice
Maybe
and spices.
Take that back.
Oh,
Somebody.
our neighbor flushed. I don't think that's it.
I think it's a toilet.
Maybe it is. You need so many fewer ingredients. You just blend the tofu with some lemon juice and seasonings, and the sauce is done in like 5 minutes. Then you just heat it up and you add pasta.
I would say if you're new to plant-based, vegan, the tofu fettuccine alfredo is a good one to start with.
And I never knew getting started plant-based about silken tofu and how magical it is. Like with the oil-free mayo, like tons of sauces and dips, and you can sneak it into desserts, and it is a wonderful type of tofu that I didn't know existed. So I am here to tell you that it exists, and you should use it and give you wonderful ways like the fettuccine alfredo. The coveted #1 spot goes to a recipe that is not even for human consumption, but has been enjoyed by many.
Humans can eat it.
They can eat it, and they have. It's the 3-ingredient dog treats. They're just mashed sweet potato, peanut butter, and oat flour, and you have loved them, especially on Pinterest, actually. Our Pinterest community comes in here. This is a weekly make for us. Super easy to make and super easy for my dog to munch. Great healthy treat for our fur baby. Made a bunch of small square ones to hide in their puzzles and bone-shaped ones as trick treats. Nice. That's pretty cool. Approved by all 3 of my pups. And some of you have told me that you've subbed the sweet potato for pumpkin or mashed carrot.
Good idea.
Yeah, and you've subbed the peanut butter for banana or applesauce, and you've used different flours. So I'm very glad that this is another one that you've been able to substitute and make specially for your pups and their needs. Some more, so many comments. Much cheaper than buying them at the store. Wonderfully easy to mix together and roll out. Quick, simple, healthy, perfectly crunchy yet tender. I will keep forever. Wow. And this one, my puppies loved this recipe so much, they yelled at me the whole time I was making them. 10 out of 10 would get yelled at by husky mixes again. So that's your top 10. There are definitely a few notable mentions, though, that I want to sneak in here that didn't make the list, but they're up there. One is the baked ziti, which has been particularly popular, it seems, with our male community. And both Jack and Andrew have left multiple comments on multiple platforms. and have added it to their rotation. So that's pretty cool. The falafel.
That's good. Yeah, it's good.
Falafel that won't fall apart because there's a little trick to how you prepare the chickpeas to make them stick together. That's a great batch one. You can make it in advance. You can freeze the falafel and then take a few out when you need them. And the ginger turmeric tonic to help you through the cold season is another favorite. And probably the chickpea smash.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good lunch one that, again, you can prepare really quickly and then just draw from it and put it in sandwiches or kind of like scoop it onto salads and bowls and stuff.
Spoon it into your mouth. Like that works as well.
Just eat it. That's the notable mention section. Do you want to say your favorite?
I think my favorite is, there's so many, but I think the eggs Benny is really good. And again, tofu in the hollandaise.
And that's medium tofu.
Yeah.
I cover like the tofu spectrum.
Yeah, but again, something that when we went vegan, plant-based, that I was like, oh, I won't eat this again.
That one's ticking up on our website, actually. People are searching for it. So
Get
you're
on
out
that
there.
bandwagon.
You're looking for it.
Yeah.
And let me know if you're liking it.
Both of our parents came out and visited us, and you made it for them, and they were both blown away by it.
Yeah, because that was
My dad took a picture of you while you were serving it to him.
I think that was a good way to kick off the year.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. We love when you comment and when you send us your pictures and your reviews. And it doesn't always have to be positive. You can tell us if something didn't work, although we love the positive ones, but we just like hearing from you. And
It's really motivating.
it is. And on that topic, I was also struck when I was looking through all of these comments to pick the top 10. I was struck by how many of you have really offered lovely words of encouragement to us. So I have a few that I'm going to put up on the screen, but words like telling us that you're loving the content and you feel the channel should have more subscribers than it does, and you love the production value. Thanks, Bryan. And that you can't wait to watch us grow. So thank you for watching. Spread the word. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done that. Do you like the smash?
Active.
Yeah. It should light up for you now. That's like a new YouTube thing.
Subscribe.
But you can't say it. There has to be like 3 minutes between saying subscribe.
Well,
So
hopefully I did it on the first
it
one.
should have done it on the first one. Those of you who love to comment, if you can comment more on the blog as well, because we have lots of comments on YouTube and our other platforms, commenting on the blog and giving the recipes a lovely 5-star review really helps Google find us and spread our recipes.
What I'm most excited for in 2024,
Yeah, what?
besides spending every day with you,
He's very sweet.
is these nachos. Seriously, this recipe's so good. I can't wait for this.
Good.
This is gonna be like, boom, mic drop, nata drop.
Oh.
It's so good. Wrap it up. This is
Thank you so much for watching and sticking in to the end. We will see you soon. Bye.